In this video, I'm going to show you the step-by-step process that I am going to follow to get master chips on page 1 of Google within the next 180 days, guaranteed. If you own a D2C brand, you would want to pay careful attention to this video. So for some context, Master Chips sells tortilla chips and they are absolutely seed oil free. It's also gluten free, so PS, if you want the absolute best tortilla chips, you should definitely check them out. So for any SEO marketing campaign at all, you have to lay the foundation, right? You just don't go into a website, you just don't go into any brand and start carrying out SEO campaigns. It has to follow a process. So in this video, I am going to be showing you the exact process that I am going to follow. Now, at Inscribe, our process is very simple. Foundation campaigns, content campaigns, and link building campaigns, also known as marketing campaigns. So let's talk about the foundational campaigns. Now, the main thing here, the meat here, is the audits, the SEO audits, and to identify any existing issues that the website might have. So I'll be using Master Chips as an example. This is a step-by-step process I'll follow to get them on page 1 of Google. So now, when you're doing foundational campaigns, you want to identify the existing technical issues, right? And now, for this part, right, there's the simple way to do it, right? You just want to do an overall site audit, right, to see what is currently happening in the website, what can be improved, all of that. But how I like to look at it before I do the overall site audit is to look at first stuff like branded. Give me a second. I'm trying to. Don't do this. Okay, good. So the technical issues. But before I go into all of that, before I do the overall site audit, I like to look at key stuff, right? Like the branded versus non-branded traffic, the keywords intent, the backlinks profile. So let's talk about branded traffic. So this is basically the people that are searching, right? How people are currently finding your website. So if you have more branded traffic, that means that you are only targeting people that already know you or people that already know your products exist. Let me rephrase that. It means that the people that are coming to your website, they are people that already know that you exist. So in this scenario, thankfully, Master Chips has more non-branded traffic than branded traffic, which means that there are more people that don't know about Master Chips, right? That just go to Google to type something like tortilla chips, and then Master Chips, comes up. So these are one of the things you want to check because this would inform your SEO campaign and the strategy generally. So this is good. You also want to check the keywords intent, right? So ultimately times you see brands capitalizing more on informational keywords intent, and the truth is the informational intent keywords don't bring you money, right? You want to be able to get on page 1 of Google as soon as you can and be able to start making money from it, right? So how you do that is by targeting commercial and transactional intent. Now, this navigational intent here basically means that if you have more branded traffic, the percentage of your navigational intent would be higher. Now, in this case, Master Chips has an okay balance, right? We still have more transactional intent, and although the informational intent is still much more, but this is something that can be easily, it's not bad, it's not terrible, it can be worked upon, right? So the branded traffic, the keywords intent, and then you want to, give me a second. Okay, sorry. Just checking if I'm still recording. So then the backlinks profile, right? Now the backlinks profile, so keywords branded versus non-branded, keywords intent, then the backlinks profile. So this is a very essential part in the SEO audits generally, because you want to know if the website has already accumulated spammy links, because when you have spammy links, you won't rank. Google would maybe even give you a penalty. And you also want to know if the domain authority of the backlinks that you've been getting. So yeah, all of this, right? So the backlinks and then the anchor text, I'll get into this more later on. The anchor text, right? Then after all of that, right, you can just use that, just check that for you to inform your overall strategy. Then you do an overall site audit, right? Because the site audits would, be more in-depth to show, the keywords, maybe you've been penalized, cannibalism, all of that. So the foundation campaign is a very essential part of your SEO campaign. Like, you should absolutely not do anything SEO related if you haven't done the foundational campaigns, like the audits, basically. Now, after that, what we'll do, right, in getting master chips on page 1 of Google is the content campaigns. Now, you don't have to start everything from scratch, right? This is what I mean. When you want to start your content campaigns, look at the existing pages that are ranking, the existing pages of contents that are ranking, that are currently in the number top 1 to 10 spot on Google. Page 1 of Google, but the 1 to 10 spots. Now, come with me, just stay with me. If you look at here, right? So I filtered this. So this is all the pages that are currently on page 1 of Google, top 1 to 10, right? Now, what you notice here is that a lot of the keywords have massa chips in it. Like, it's massa chips, right? Now, this is why SEO can be tricky at times, because if you recall here, they have less branded traffic, right? But if you look at the keywords they are currently ranking for, as much as they have more non-branded traffic than branded traffic, if you notice the keywords that they are currently ranking for in the top 1 to 10 spots has master chips in it, right? So if you look at this, the volume 1.9K, 1.9K, 2.9, this is all master chips. Now, hypothetically speaking, if this wasn't all master chips, if you had other commercial and transactional intent keywords, you could easily just capitalize on that, right? And optimize the existing page or the existing content. Now, in this case, let's look at their position. So master chips, it's still transactional, right? They're ranking on page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4. If you notice, they are all the same variations, right? So one of the things you also want to note when you are running this type of campaigns is to look at the volume, right? The volume and the percentage that is currently going to the website. Now, in this case, you would see that the volume here if we look at something like tallow chips, the overall volume for that is 110, and the percentage of the traffic is 0.46. It's not even 1%, right? So you don't really want to capitalize on this, right? You could still optimize to just capitalize on all of the volume, right? But it wouldn't be the best use of time. So once this is identified, right, you've seen the existing content that can be optimized to be moved up, right? What you now want to do is to target new keywords. Now, this is the meat of SEO to an extent, and this is what I mean. Now, you want to start with at least 3 to 5 keywords, right? And it could be what's the word? It could be much more than this. It could be lesser than this. It all depends on your budget, right? But what you want to do, right, is to just go into SEMrush, or if you use Ahrefs, right, and then filter, right? Go for the keywords with the lowest difficulty. 0 to 29, ideally. Then the intent, commercial and transactional. Like I said earlier, we're after the money first, right? So when you do that, you would have a list of keywords that you can easily target to give you leverage. Now, after doing that, so yeah, they're like, it's somewhere here. So I could identify like 4 major keywords, long tail keywords now that master chips can target. And although this isn't so, it isn't like, it's not in the range of 0 to 29, but you can easily capitalize on it. Why? Because the pages that are currently ranking for it, they are not very solid, right? So there are pages that even have 0 authority score. The page, this was cut short. I actually made a screenshot of all of the pages. So some of the pages that are currently ranking here have 0 domain authority, which means that Masa could easily capitalize on this and even push all of those easily capitalize and push all of those keywords, or all of those pages rather, down below, right? So now let's take something like give me a second. So now with the keywords, right, you'd always have, following our strategy, commercial intent, transactional intent first. Now, for every commercial and transactional intent, there would be an informational version of the intent. And this is what I mean. If we look at tortilla chips in itself, right, tortilla chips is a keyword, right? It's very competitive. You don't want to start from there. So you want to build your way gradually from the bottom. And now this is a variation, right? This is a variation that you can target in the blog section, but we are going to get into that. So let's say, for this campaign now, hypothetically speaking, let's say we take one keyword, right? And from my observation here, let's take gluten-free tortilla chips, right? Because the idea of masa is that the chips are not made with seed oils, right? So it's healthy. So now, a cheat code, right? When you want to optimize for pages, or when you want to rank for pages, you want to look at the pages that are currently ranking, right? What they are currently doing. Now you model that and you become better at it than they are, right? So here, taking gluten-free tortilla chips as an example, these are the current pages that are ranking for it. And for all of these pages, their authority score, the authority score of the page isn't a lot. Like some of these pages had 0 authority score, which means that the competition is not so much, especially if your authority score, your overall authority score is much more higher and significant. Now, come with me. So, here's the cheat code. When you check this, right, to see the content that is currently ranking, if all of the content that's currently ranking, right, is if there are blog pages, what you want to do is create a blog to target that keyword, right? Then internally link to a category page, right? Because it's like, if all of the pages that are currently ranking are blogs, right? Why would you want to create a category page? Like, you could test it, absolutely, but what you want to do is just like follow the trend, or not necessarily follow the trend, but follow model what is currently happening. Now so yeah, that's one part to it. And then if they are all category pages, you also want to make sure that you create a better category page and sprinkle a bit of blog content. I'm going to get into that later on. So now, what do I mean by sprinkling a bit of blog content? Now, taking this, right, the pages that are currently ranking for the first 2 pages that are currently ranking for gluten-free tortilla chips. So you'd see Amazon. So Amazon is currently ranking, and this page actually has 0 authority score, like this particular category page. Amazon has a large authority score generally. Now, one thing you notice here, like the URL here is not even properly optimized, right? This is something that could be easily fixed and something that Master Chips could easily capitalize on when running the campaign. So this, right now, when you look at the second one that is ranking here, they were very smart with it. They put in a bit of blog content, right? Which is what I was saying here, right? For your category pages generally, you just don't want them to have product alone, because when Google search bots is scrolling the page, it needs some content to be able to understand what the page is about. So you want to do that to fulfill Google search bots that are crawling, and you also, from a conversion perspective, you just want to put stuff like FAQs, reviews, and all of that, right? Now, for us not to lose track, so if we were to gluten-free, if we were to target the keyword gluten-free tortilla chips, one of the first things to optimize the URL to make sure that gluten-free tortilla chips is actually in the URL, right? You don't want to, because this URL in itself is not really fulfilling the intent. Not intent now, it's not tallying with the keyword in itself. So optimize the first step, optimize the URL, then create a category page, because checking Master's websites, their collection pages, they have about 4 different variations of Master chips, so tortilla chips generally, and all of them are not made with seed oils, so they could be easily categorized as gluten-free tortilla chips. So it's just going to be a category page like Master chips, right? Master chips collections, and then gluten-free category, gluten-free tortilla chips, and then that would have all of the chips in the category. Now, so that's an example, but let me use another example again, so whoever is watching this can also understand what I'm trying to say. So let's take healthy tortilla chips as an example. Now, if you look at the pages that are currently ranking for it, for the healthy tortilla chips, I think I mentioned this earlier. Some of them have 0 authority score. So one of the things you also want to note is how the pages that are currently ranking fulfill intent differently. Now, this is majorly a transactional / commercial keyword, right? But if you look at the content, right, the pages that are currently ranking, the first 3 pages are blogs, right? They're blogs. And then what you notice again, you can see the URLs here, so yeah, but in all of the what's it called? In the all of the pages, right, some of them have, this is not the complete list. I wish I had a complete list. Like some of them had categories, like some of them were categories. It wasn't all just blog content. So in this case, right, optimize the URL, then create a category page. You don't necessarily have to create a category page in this instance, because gluten-free and then healthy, like they are still like in the same circle kind of. So you could create like blog content. I would create blog content around this, the healthy tortilla chips, and then link back to the category page, examples of healthy tortilla chips or where to get healthy tortilla chips, and then link back to the category page, right? So of course this goes pretty much more in depth than this, but I'm being very time conscious, one, and then this is just to give like a brief overview of like the steps I would follow if I were to create an SEO campaign strategy for this brand. So yeah, so after all of this, the foundation campaigns, the content campaigns, then the link building campaigns, right? So the link building campaigns is a very important part of SEO campaigns generally, because this is how Google sees you as an authority. So 3 basic steps, right? Get backlinks from IDA site, right? Then those backlinks, right? You get the backlinks for the blog content. So in this scenario, let me make it very explanatory. In this scenario, right, we are targeting best tortilla chips as an informational keyword, right? A best, so you're probably going to compare some other tortilla chips. Now, what we want to do for that blog content is to get backlinks for that blog content. Now, in the blog content, definitely we are going to position masa chips as the best tortilla chips, and then there's going to be an internal link back to the category page, right? And yeah, that's the process. However, you want to ensure that the anchor text is very relevant. Now, to explain this, I'm going to here in identifying the anchor text. Now, for most of this anchor text right here, it's masa chips, masa chips, masa chips, right? You want to target other keywords that people are oblivious to, right? Something like gluten-free tortilla chips, healthy tortilla chips, right? So when you are linking back to a category page in your blog content, you want to ensure that you're using like the relevant anchor text. So this is just for a keyword, right? And then you repeat the process for other keywords. So this is like the step by step, right? Again, PS, it can get more nuanced than this, but this is just like a very brief overview of how the campaign is going to go. Foundation campaigns, the content campaigns, where you identify the keywords that the right target audience are actually using, and then optimizing like the link building campaigns, and then just following the same process for every other keyword that you want to target. So if you're a DTC brand owner and you like to get on page 1 of Google and drive up to 2x more customers within the next 180 days, guaranteed, there's going to be a link in this video. Click the link and you'll be directed to schedule a personal strategy session with me.